We're looking at the basic steps of how a muscle contracts, and we call that the sliding filament theory. From a microscopic view, how are the filaments, specifically myofilaments, actin and myosin, sliding to give me some type of force or leverage to move something? Before watching this video, you should have watched a video that talks about the sarcomere, the smallest contractile unit of a muscle, because within a muscle cell, I have these myofibrils that contain about 10,000 sarcomeres that are describing from a Z line to a Z line. We're pulling those together to give us some type of force. And then you should have also been watching the skeletal muscle organization. Is how do we get to the point of understanding a sarcomere? That a muscle is full of fascicles, that's full of a bunch of cells, that's full of a bunch of myofibrils that contain the sarcomeres. And now we're at that point to where we can visualize within a sarcomere, how do we slide Z line or Z disc together to give me some type of force? Because if I shorten the sarcomere, I shorten the myofibrils, I shorten the cells, I shorten the fascicles, which helps me shorten the muscle to give me some type of leverage or force. I put a basic order of the sliding filament theory based on an anatomical standpoint. You should cover more of this in physiology, but it matches the graphic on this side. Really, essentially what we're doing is we're taking chemical energy and turning it into a mechanical force. So where do we get that chemical energy? From the nervous system. So the neurons releasing a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. And that acetylcholine is going to create the effects that occur within the muscle to give me that movement to allow for a contraction. So let's talk about it. As I describe this, it's occurring at what we call a neuromuscular junction, the junction between the nervous system, the neuron, and the muscle cells. So I have an action potential, that electrical energy that's coming from the chemical acetylcholine. To me, it's no different than you put fuel in your car, that gasoline, the more fuel you add, that creates that combustion to give you that force to move the engine of the car. We're doing the same thing with muscles. We take that chemical energy and turn it to mechanical energy. So we start with the neuron releasing acetylcholine. As that acetylcholine reaches the muscle cells, there's a slight gap here that we call a synaptic cleft, to where there's this gap to where we're releasing that acetylcholine, and it's going to bind to the cell. And what happens, we trigger sodium ions that are going to spread as a result of that action potential and across the sarcolemma. Remember, the sarcolemma is the plasmalemma or cell membrane. We just call it the sarcolemma for the muscle cell because it has a relatively different structure and function to create the sliding filament theory. So it reaches our T-tubules, and if you remember, T-tubules help to spread across the information across the cell. So in this case, these green tubes are called T-tubules or transverse because they spread transversely across to help move the messaging that's going on. So that sodium then triggers the release of calcium. Calcium is secreted by the sarcoplasmic reticulum. This is going to trigger the contraction. And how does it do that? When calcium then is released by the sarcoplasmic reticulum, it binds to the actin strand. And where is it doing that? On troponin. And as it does that, troponin is going to change its shape. And what it's doing is altering the position of tropomyosin, the other protein, and is exposing a binding site for actin. And when that occurs, we'll use energy in the form of adenotriphosphate, or ATP, for the myosin heads to cock and swivel, grab onto actin. And if we remember, our actin strands are connected to a Z disc and a Z disc, otherwise known as a Z line to a Z line. So what this is showing from this result, if I allow for that energy for the myosin heads to grab onto actin, it's going to pull a Z line and a Z line together. And if I shorten one sarcomere, depending on the strength and the neuromuscular junction and all the activities that give me this reaction, as I pull a sarcomere together, I pull the sarcomeres that are being shortened within a myofibril. I shorten the myofibrils, I shorten the cell, and then I shorten all the fascicles, which then shortens all the muscle. So it's important to understand the makeup of the organism first. So it's a chain reaction of the sliding filament theory. How do we slide them together? We start with the neuron releasing acetylcholine. It's going to spread sodium across the sarcomeres cell membrane to reach the T tubules to ultimately hit the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which releases calcium to trigger the contraction. How is it triggering the contraction? Its interaction with troponin changes its shape, alters the position of tropomyosin for actin to bind to, but we need adenotriphosphate to do that. And then as we attach the actin from the myosin, we pull the Z lines together to contribute to that shortening of the muscle to give me a contraction. This is the sliding filament theory.